Right, so the first thing that we're going to do today, I really have no idea right this second, Gary, how this is going to turn out. So I've got my sort of hair back, etc, etc. What we're going to do, I'm actually going to show you how I prep and do my skin for my Instagram beauty posts. I'm kind of turning my Instagram into a more kind of like beauty and body positivity focused space, because I think it looked really messy. I didn't really like the aesthetic and all that kind of stuff. So I've been taking I've been doing more kind of like beauty looks and stuff, and so I thought I would kind of do the look on here as tutorials for you guys, and then post the pictures in the evening, because that's when I like to take my pictures. But I'm going to show you exactly how I prep my skin for that kind of glowy, flawless base. You don't need to use as many products as me if you don't want to. Obviously, if I was going out, I'd have less shine on the skin, but how I like to do my skin is more sort of like a... Jesus! It's more an... is so that it looks really, really glowy and more like you would maybe get on like an editorial or a fashion shoot or something. I'm not using lots of really full coverage heavy products on the skin, lots of nice light layers and cream products. So the first thing, I've never talked about this before, so this is the Blithe or Blithe, I think it's Blithe, Inbetween Hydro Priming Cream. They do this as a serum as well. I've got this on already. I'm gonna pop the serum over the top, and I absolutely love this for prepping the skin. I have used it on a few other people. It's really good if you have dry skin. It really kind of preps the face. So we've just zoomed you in a little bit so you can see. I'm then going to take a couple of drops of this, and I'm going to mix it in with my Cover FX Custom Enhancer drops. I didn't want to use this today because it's quite expensive. What I wanted to use is the Obsession, I think it's Face Foundation Mixer in Millionairess something. I'll leave it down below for you anyway, but that's available in, I think, Boots and Superdrug. It's kind of attached to Makeup Revolution, I think. And it's a liquid, really creamy, light reflecting, champagne-y coloured, I guess like a highlighter. If you put it over foundation, then it's more of a subtle glow, and obviously if you mix it in with your foundation, which is what I like to do and use it all over the face, you get more of that really kind of sheeny skin. So I've just mixed like literally 2 drops of this on my hand, and I'm going to be using this mainly on the kind of cheek area, and this is going to sit underneath my foundation, so I'm kind of focusing it where I would kind of naturally highlight the skin, and I'm really working this into the skin with my hands. And this is just going to provide a really beautiful sheen to the skin that is really going to reflect that light when you take your pictures. I feel like I really wanted to kind of go back to basics with you guys, but I haven't seen many people really teaching you and showing you products and techniques of how to prep your skin properly. I cleaned my face, I did a little face mask before I started. Prepping the skin properly and having a clean, moisturised base makes such a difference to the texture of your skin and the canvas that you're working on. So I'm really hoping that you can kind of see that the skin looks really healthy and has that nice kind of sheen to it now. The next thing that I'm going to show you is the Fast Base Revolution, is the Fast Base Foundation Sticks from Revolution. I really love these. Now this is my personal one, so I apply it straight from this. This is a really beautiful but really decent coverage foundation stick basically. And I tend to pop the colour IMF8 kind of all around the face. I kind of leave this area a little bit blank because it really does blend into the skin beautifully. So when you are kind of blending it backwards, you kind of want this to melt into nothing. And if you've got the right shade, it kind of should do. I'm also going to go in with a slightly lighter shade, and this is in the colour F7. And I'm just going to pop that slightly in the middle. Then what I'm going to do is I'm actually using the Carity F26 brush. This is a brand that is quite a new brand as far as I'm aware. You can find them on Beauty Bay. This I think is £11. It is a really soft, flexible but really dense buffing brush, and if you're using cream products and things, unless you want to use your hands, which of course you can, or a beauty blender, I much prefer a brush for this. And I'm going to start along the outside of the face and really work this into the skin. I'm not going to show you the length of time that I spend doing this, but it's really important to be working it into the skin. The more you work it into the skin, the more even and flawless your base is going to look, and the more sort of skin-like and natural it's going to look as well, because the idea of this is that you want to look like you just have really beautiful
let's get the party.
I really like to have the centre of the face a slightly brighter colour, and I just think that helps to give the face dimension. If you do this in your base rather than lots and lots of kind of contouring and powders and things, I think it looks much more natural. If you've got a couple of different shades, then it's kind of a more natural, easier to kind of blend into the skin way of doing, I guess, what would effectively be a contour. And if you notice what I actually did there, I'm hoping, editing Hannah, if you're listening, please leave that in. I worked from the outside of the face and blended it outwards, and then after I'd done that, I worked on the inner part of my face and blended the lightness into the darkness. I just find that that is a much easier, better way of doing it for me, because it kind of leaves the brightness on the inner part of the face. The next thing I'm going to do is actually take the Jouer Essential High Coverage Liquid Concealer. Again, this is quite a full coverage product, and I'm not going to be using a load of it. I've seen people like do this, and that does work. It will really brighten that area, but you don't. Gary is literally going mental. I am so sorry. I like to pop this just on the inner part of the eye and a little bit here. Again, this is going to brighten, but it's also going to cover a little bit of that excess kind of dark circle that the foundation didn't. I'm then going to take a damp beauty blender, and I have just sprayed it with the Revolution Pro Fix. I love this setting spray, and I also find that it kind of helps to blend in the concealer. And I like to start on the inner corner and just kind of press this into the skin and take it over the area that you would normally highlight as well, because the high points of the face is where we want those kind of light reflecting particles to be, and the brightness. And what I like to do is go back in with my foundation brush and just kind of dab out the edges and just make sure that that concealer is really blended into the foundation. And what I love about this cream foundation is that although it doesn't move around too much, if you were kind of using it as a shoot or in your everyday life and doing more of a kind of natural, you know, you had a little bit less on, what I love about it is not only does it look like skin but offer you really good coverage, but you can just press it back into place if it moves, and I like that. So the next thing I'm going to be doing is taking my MUA Luxe Light Luster Liquid Highlight, and this is in the colour Marvel, and as you can see, hopefully it is a bronzy champagne-y colour. I'm going to take a few drops on the back of my hand. I'm going to be taking the Real Techniques stippling brush, and I like to kind of just dab off some excess, and I'm going to be going over the high points of the face. Take a little bit down the nose as well. Then what I like to do is take the bum of the sponge and just, again, this is all about getting this to really melt into the skin. You can see I have still got one kind of spot mark there. We'll get that at the end. But this is about really working the skin building up really thin layers so that you get this beautiful kind of ethereal photo shoot ready finish. While we're here, I am going to take a little bit of the F8 colour foundation again. And I'm just going to get that, can you see there's a little kind of spot mark. But this is how you should be concealing. If you've got kind of blemishes and things, foundation first, spot conceal after, on a tiny brush, blend out with a finger, gone. I'm just looking for any kind of tiny marks here that I still have left on the skin, and if you need to go over it a couple of times, that's fine. But using small amounts of high coverage product only where you need it gives a much more natural finish to the skin. Now I've spoken about this a million times. You guys know that that kind of really full coverage Instagram makeup is not really my style. But I wanted to show you how you can achieve a really perfected look without wearing that much makeup. This is still going to look like you are wearing makeup. Of course, your skin's still going to look flawless, but it is a much more natural way of achieving that. And I honestly feel like it photographs a lot better as well, both in natural light and under studio lights, because there's less on the skin to bring up things like texture. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to set the centre of my face with the RMS Beauty. This is called the Unpowder, and this is a really finely milled powder that is silicone based, so if you have any issues with that, then you can use another sort of translucent powder. I love this one because you need so little of it. I have just taken the teeniest, tiniest bit off of the powder puff, and I'm just going to really lightly concentrate this only in the centre of the face and ever so slightly underneath and over the eyelid. Now the reason for this is that we have really worked to get shine and dimension into the skin, and by putting a load of powder all over it, you're going to take that off. I have just popped a teeny weeny bit underneath here because we did conceal a spot there, so we want that cream product to stay in place. But I haven't touched the perimeter of the face at all. Now weirdly, I didn't contour before I did that, and that is backwards for me, and now I feel weird. But what we're going to contour today is the AC On Tour contour stick. A contour? I don't know. It's this one by Australis. I don't think it actually has a colour on it, but this is a really budget friendly one, and I like to pop it straight onto the skin where I'm going to contour, like so, and the same on the other side. And because these are all cream products, I don't mind that are highlighted first. That to me is not weird. It really doesn't make much of a difference. I'm going to take it onto the tops of the foreheads as well, and just a little bit on the temples. And you can as well take a teeny bit either side of the nose. This does have a sponge the other end. I don't recommend using this. It doesn't blend very well. I don't like it. This colour is a really good colour because it has a subtle sheen to it. It is a reddish base brown, and it will look really nice on fairer skin tones as well. My camera was just flashing at me. What a shame. Also, I've misplaced my Jeffree Star mirror, and that's really upsetting me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to blend this in really softly with the contour brush by Real Techniques, and this is just big enough not to kind of spread this too far, but really is kind of dense but fluffy, if that makes sense, and it really helps to blend this seamlessly into those other cream products that we've placed, and it just gives the nicest, softest definition to the face. I like to kind of squeeze it when I come to my nose. A little bit of contour. You can also take this a little bit on the chin. If you don't want to apply it straight to your face, then you can of course take a brush like this. If you're using these for your kit or anything, you don't have spray that you can disinfect and stuff, especially because it's cream products. I recommend using a metal palette and scraping some off the top and then using a brush, or taking it from the back of a clean hand or something like that. I would not be doing this on multiple people from the same stick. If you guys want a video on hygiene, makeup wise, if you guys are looking to get into doing other people's makeup and things, then let me know, because there are a lot of things that I see in my job and have had done to me that I would never do on a client. Now, this is your beautiful base. I'm just going to stick some eyebrows on and then I will be back to show you kind of the finished skin look. And we are back. So I have completed my makeup. I really hope that you have enjoyed learning about how I prep my skin. Of course though, the product that I wanted to use, that I can at least now show you, to kind of have around the outside of the face, underneath the skin, instead of that Cover FX if you can't afford it. I think this is about £8 and you can get it in Superdrug. I think they might stock it in Boots as well. This is the Obsession mixer in Millionairess Glow, and it is a really, I'll just show you very quickly, it's a really kind of loose cream formula of, where is this dot, of highlight. So you can see it gives a nice sheen to the skin, but it's not glittery, it is fine shimmer particles. It used a little bit of purple on the back of my hand that I've tried to get off. You can see sheen to the skin, really beautiful. If you're using a liquid foundation as well, or something that's a little bit more matte because you're a little bit more oily and you're afraid of the sticks and things, then I highly recommend that you try mixing a little bit of this or something very similar into your normal kind of matte foundation. It will just liven it up just a little bit. Or go in underneath around the edges of the face, as I said, and keep it really matte in the centre. Anyway, I really hope that you have enjoyed this video and you found it a little bit helpful, educational. Sorry if my lighting's off. It's grey. It's really grey, but it's quite bright and it's just throwing things off today. I'm going to edit this in post and I'm going to think it looks absolutely fine. And then I'll just look like a complete dick for mentioning it. Anyway, this look I have just filmed for you guys, so that will be the next video that you see. I might do it early for you, not sure yet, we'll see. But if you want to get this look, then keep a lookout for that tutorial. Please do give this video a thumbs up. As usual, hit that subscribe button as well if you're not part of the Janes family. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. It's hannhjojanes, all lowercase. We've had a bit of a makeover over there. As I said at the start of this video, and as usual I will have all of the products listed below that I used on my skin today, and I will see you in the next one. I hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. Bye! You're joking! This is what I wanted at the start of the video. That is so irritating. I can't even. It's not a thing. Anyone else obsessed with Shallow still? With Bradders and Gaga? Obsessed, in my head, have been singing all day long, annoying myself. Can't help it. I'm of the deep end, watch as I dive in. I'll never meet the ground. Why is it always cold? Fucking hell, my boyfriend literally thinks I'm the most disgusting person in the world because he keeps trying to take my cold tea or my cold coffee away from me and make me a new one. I feel wasteful, so I want to finish it, but I never finish it when it's hot. I've heated this up in the microwave 4 times already. What the fuck is my problem? Get a grip, James!